The Paxson, who plays mostly without the basketball. Of course, now with Michael out of the game, he has to do a little bit of point guard work.
Nice pass. Hodges underneath to Sellers, and Sellers converts. Bulls lead 30-29 with 8:50 remaining in the first half. Nance, who had a hot hand early, continues. He has 14 points in the ball game. And the Cavaliers are back up by 1. Sellers working against Sanders. Sanders committed a foul. His first. Second team foul. This quarter. And the lead seesaws back Chicago's way. Now Price brings it down against Paxson. Cartwright getting ready to check back in the Chicago lineup. Sanders working against Sellers. Sellers blocked it, but it comes right over to Doherty. He can't get the shot to fall. Sanders the rebound and follows it home. Mike Sanders getting his first points of the night.
That's what Lenny Wilkins said his team needed to get on the boards a little bit more, especially the offensive boards, and they've done a much better job of that here this evening.
And you saw in that first quarter, the rebounds were dead even at 14 apiece. Sellers over Sanders. Wouldn't go. Another Cleveland rebound. Harper coming away with it. There have been 10 lead changes in this quarter alone. Doherty pulls away the rebound. Can't get the shot to fall, but the tip is good. Doherty's first 2 of the night. And now Cleveland has opened up a 3-point lead. And the timeout will be taken here by Chicago with 7:27 remaining in quarter number 2. Cleveland up by 3. By 3 with 7:27 remaining in the second quarter.
Now watch what happens on the last play with Sanders. He has it blocked by Doherty, but Doherty goes off the court. Now he comes in to screen the nearest man, but nobody comes over to screen Sanders. He's able to get the offensive rebound and lay it back in.
Cleveland is now out-rebounded Chicago 20-14 in this game. Michael Jordan back in there for Chicago. Takes the shot over Sanders. He is still without a field goal, but Bill Cartwright has scored 8 points in the ball game to bring Chicago back to within 1.
And that upset Lenny Wilkins a great deal to see Cartwright have such an easy time of tipping that one in. That's 7, at least, well, they had 6 offensive rebounds in the first period alone, Chicago did.
At the conclusion of tonight's game, Rick and I will be selecting the Miller Lite player of the game. Nance looking inside for Doherty. Doherty puts it up over Cartwright. He has not been able to find a shooting touch, but there's Sanders with another offensive rebound, resulting in 2 more points. Cleveland by 3. Jordan trying for his first field goal. He has now missed a half dozen from the field. And Cleveland can now open up a 5-point lead. Doherty. Well, he is really having a rough time of it offensively. Pippen works against Sanders. Pippen will try his third 3-pointer. That's the first one he's missed. Rebound Doherty off to Price.
Boy, he had that dead-on line. It was just a hair long.
Out it comes to Nance. Nance has had the hot hand most of this quarter, and Sanders with another offensive rebound, 2 more points.
Well, I'll tell you, Sanders, since coming off the bench, has been a real force for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, here's a guy who was struggling in the starting role. Now he gets to come in off the bench, and he's doing what Hot Rod Williams did in game number 3. Here's the flat shot. You can see how flat that shot was. The long rebound, as you see, Scottie Pippen had released and didn't screen his man off. Sanders wisely tracks it down, gets fouled, will go to the line. That's a perfect example of why you should screen your man and not just release for the ball.
Sanders, who was kind of singled out as being the guy who was not doing it on the boards a game ago, certainly changing that in this game. He has 7 points all in this quarter, giving Cleveland a 6-point lead. Grant down to Cartwright. Cartwright into the paint. Shot blocked by Nance. Ball is loose in the corner, trying to save it inbounds. Scottie Pippen. But he went out of bounds. Ball goes back to Cleveland.
I think that last play, Pete, was an indication of how Brad Doherty's not really feeling all that well. He did not move very well laterally that time. He's not the fastest guy, but boy, he was really slow on that one.
And there's a turnover as Grant got his hands on the ball. Over to Michael Jordan, operating against 4 Cavaliers, and he's fouled by Larry Nance. Jordan now with 8 points, all from the free throw line. Cleveland's lead, a 5-point lead with 5.5 minutes to go in the half. Chicago now 13 of 18 from the free throw line. Cleveland's only been to the line 8 times. They've made 7. Down to 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Nance going up, got fouled. Scottie Pippen got it in second.
Well, I noticed that the Cavs are showing a lot more patience right now with their offense. I'm sure Lenny Wilkins talked to them about it. And they're not just taking the first opportunity that they get to fire it up from the perimeter. And they've really been able to hammer it inside a few times. And of course, they've done an outstanding job, especially Sanders on the offensive boards in this period.
Larry Nance with 14 points. He's also pulled down 5 rebounds. That's his first miss from the free throw line. There's what he did during the regular season against the Bulls when Cleveland won all 6 of the games in the season series. Nance misses them both. Grant pulls down the rebound. Now Chicago still shooting only 31% on the night, but down by only 5, can get back to within 3 points. When will Michael Jordan hit that first field goal? Not that time, but he'll go back to the free throw line. Michael is not having a typical Michael Jordan night to this point. He has missed 3 from the free throw line. He has yet to pick up a field goal. 9 points on the night. Chicago down by 4. 4:45 left in the half. Underneath it goes to Sanders, but he couldn't quite reach the pass. That's 6 Cleveland turnovers. One reason Chicago's been able to stay close, they have not turned the ball over once in this game yet. But still shooting only 31%. Michael Jordan finally gets that first one to fall. He has 11. Bulls are back to within 2. Price going against Hodges. And the foul goes against Chicago. Hodges called for his 3rd.
Well, let's watch Michael inside getting that first hoop of his. Just comes right across the middle, little jump hook, and that one was even a little short, but the nice shooter's bounce helped him that time. You see Michael was delighted to have that one go in, as was the capacity crowd.
That's the first miss in this series by Mark Price from the free throw line. And Cleveland has missed their last 3 free throw attempts. Price now with 5 points. Cleveland up by 3. Jackson brings the ball down for Chicago. Over to Michael. Trying to get it inside to Pippen. Pippen lost it, but Grant saves it back to Michael Jordan. They've only got about 8 seconds to work with on that shot clock. Down to 5. Cartwright puts the hook in. Well, Cartwright with 10. And Chicago back to within 1. 3:45 to go in the half. Mark Price to Doherty. Harper. Good pick set there by Doherty, but Harper couldn't get the jumper to fall. Grant pulls away the rebound off to Michael Jordan. Bulls can take the lead this trip. He saw Michael pass that ball and say, give it back. Down to 5 seconds now on the shot clock, and Jordan is going to go back to the free throw line. At this pace, Michael Jordan's going to shoot about 30 tonight. He makes them both. 17th lead change in this first half as Chicago back on top with 3 minutes to go in the half. Doherty leaning in against Cartwright. Tried to send it over to Nance. The ball stolen by Michael Jordan. His 3rd steal of the game. And let's see if they call a breakaway. They will not.
He was in front of him, made a play with the ball, and just grabbed onto him. I think that's a smart play. because you don't want this crowd to get really pumped up in the team by letting Michael have a breakaway dunk. And he did not do a type of foul that could possibly have injured Michael.
Timeout. He has 14 points on the night. And Chicago now leads it 44-41. There's your time remaining in quarter number 2. Bulls are only shooting 35%, and they have the lead. That's tough to do.
Yeah, that doesn't bode well for Cleveland.
Williams.
John Williams
now has 8. And Cleveland back to within 1. Cleveland only shooting 42%. Their shooting percentage has gone down since late in the first quarter. Grant underneath to Michael. 2 minutes to go with a 3-point Chicago lead in quarter number 2.
left in the half.
Doherty's baseline jump hook goes. That's only his second field goal, his 4th point. Cleveland back to within 1.
Well, they need that from him. Get it inside. Don't waste any time. Go to the offense. Try and get yourself on track.
Cartwright puts it up over Doherty. Shot was too strong. Pippen's tip wouldn't go. Williams pulls away the rebound.
I should say he should get back on track. He's on the track all right, but it's the wrong one right now.
Price over to Hot Rod Williams. Gives it to Larry Nance. Nance puts it up over Pippen.
Larry Nance.
Nance shooting the ball extremely well. He has 16 points in this first half. He is now 7 of 10 from the field.
Another lead change.
Just over a minute to go in the second. Michael will work against Harper. Down to 3 seconds left on the shot clock. He's going to have to hurry. He couldn't have timed it any better.
You can't give him his right hand, Pete. I don't care where he is on the court. You must make Michael Jordan go to the left if you can.
Jordan has only 3 field goals on the night. But that one just put Chicago back on top. He has 19 points overall. Price dishing off to Nance, and Nance for 2 more. Nance with 18 first half points. Cleveland has the lead back.
22nd time out here, Pete, for Chicago. Try and come up with something creative.
Paxson working against Price. Looking for Michael. And there's the first Chicago turnover. And they get it right back on a steal by Scottie Pippen. Price comes out on Jordan. Will they get the shot off in time? It would have counted had it gone, but they weren't able to work for a very good shot there in those final few seconds.
3 times, Pete, that's happened to them this game. They didn't get good shots.
We're at halftime. The Cleveland Cavaliers trying to survive, up by 1. Harper will put it in for Cleveland. Or will he? Nope, it's going to be Williams instead. And it comes to Doherty. Price takes another one, hits another one.
That hurt him. He shot that ball, and when he went back, you could see the pain on his face after the shot. And let's hope for Cleveland's sake that he didn't re-injure that groin pull.
7 points in the quarter for Price, 10 in the game. But you can see he's playing in a lot of pain. Cartwright kicks it out to Vincent. Vincent will take his first shot of the night. Won't go for him. Rebound pulled away by Grant. He had it and lost it out of bounds. So Cleveland gets it. Price takes one from 3-point territory and hits it. Mark Price has come to life here in this third quarter. He has 10 points in the quarter, 13 in the game. And the Cleveland Cavaliers now lead it by 4. Another tie with 7:55 remaining in the third. Jordan now with 28 points, 9 in this quarter. In the paint, Doherty. Still can't get a shot to fall. Rebound. Horace Grant off to Sam Vincent. 10 boards now for Horace Grant. He had 17 in game 3. Michael Jordan. Chicago by 2, just over 7 minutes remaining. Mark Price finally missed one. Cartwright the rebound. Outlet to Vincent. 3-on-2 Chicago break. Vincent's going to back it up now to Pippen. Down it comes to Pippen, working against Nance. Out to Grant. They're down to 5 seconds left to shoot it. Vincent against Price. He stepped in the line. Ball goes back to Cleveland. Grant looping it underneath to Cartwright. And all of a sudden, the Chicago Bulls beginning to have a little difficulty with turnovers and an offensive foul that time on Bill Cartwright. That's his third personal. Harper looks underneath, looking for Nance. Scottie Pippen doing a good job on Nance. Harper takes it to the hole. Won't go for him. Another Bill Cartwright rebound. Cartwright doing a great job on the boards. Jordan couldn't control it. Williams pulls it away. Jordan tips it away. Grant for an easy 2.
Michael going up to Sam Vincent saying, good pass, Sam. That was my fault. And a big turnover for Cavaliers. Hurt them a lot.
Cavaliers now down by 2. They're double teaming Mark Price. He hits the deck. Chicago on the run. They get a 4-on-3. Michael Jordan. 13 in the quarter, 32 in the game for Michael Jordan. And the Bulls lead by 4. Harper. What a different second half from the first half, Rick. In the first half, the backcourts for both teams not heard from hardly at all. They've been doing almost all the damage here in quarter number 3.
Well, you rarely get an NBA game that stays one way the entire time.
Pippen almost lost it. And there's a steal by Harper. And Harper has a clear shot for an easy 2. Ron Harper now with 10 points. And we're tied again.
Good poise by the Cavs with the crowd getting into it and giving up those 2 easy hoops, trailing by 4. They got it right back to it and they're tied.
4 minutes, 25 seconds remaining in the third. Jordan finally misses one. Doherty the rebound off to Price. Cleveland can grab the lead back here. Underneath to Doherty, and he got fouled on the way up.
But it was Price with good movement and the penetration that set it up. And I'll tell you one thing, Lenny Wilkins, I want to see Michael Jordan shooting that kind of shot the whole game. I mean, when he's going to the basket, he's going to either get to the line or maybe get dunks. I'd rather have him shooting that jumper, even though he can make it.
Doherty had just 9 points in game 1, just 6 in game 2. He did have 17 points in game 3, and he has just 5 points here in game 4. And this is the guy who averaged nearly 19 points a game during the regular season. Makes just 1 of 2. He's hit only 38% from the line in this series. Well, Cleveland has the lead by 1. We've got 4 minutes remaining in the third. Grant almost lost it. Puts up an awkward shot, and the rebound pulled away by Doherty. He does have 9 rebounds tonight, Brad Doherty. Cleveland on the run. Harper will not get the basket to go, but he will go to the free throw line.
The Blackhawks are out of it by this time.
Harper now has 8 in the quarter, 12 in the game. Cavaliers have stretched that lead down to 3 points.
We should have won.
Nobody's been able to pull away tonight.
We should have worn our sneakers.
3.5 minutes to go in the quarter. Jordan. Boy, he's going to one-man show for Chicago in his third quarter. 15 points in the quarter, 34 in the game. And Cleveland's lead a 1-point lead. Price looking for Doherty. Doherty Sends it across to Williams. Williams is going to be called for the offensive foul. His third.
John Williams. It's third.
He has not been the factor tonight, Rick, that he was in Game 3.
Well, you know, some guys really play better when they come off the bench. It's really strange how you can get a mindset and you can respond to certain situations and not to others.
Pippen had the ball tipped away by Nance, gets it back. And they give it to Michael. And Michael delivers.
Like he usually does.
36 for Jordan.
Another one about playing coming off the bench, Pete, is that you have a chance. The other players are a little bit tired. You get a chance to see what's going on, and sometimes it can be an advantage for you.
We might have seen that happen to the Utah Jazz when they started Thurl Bailey in games 2 and 3 of their series. Nance can't get it to go. Chicago with a 1-point lead. They've got the ball back. Michael on the run again. Another jump shot. Another 2 points. He has 38, and he has taken this game over. Lenny Wilkins wants to talk about it. Timeout, Cleveland. Third.
2 minutes left in the quarter.
Williams got it underneath to Doherty, and Doherty, who has been struggling throughout the series, will go to the free throw line. And Vincent over to Brad Sellers. Almost threw it away. Price almost got the steal. If he was 100% healthy, he may have gotten that steal. Vincent left open along the baseline. His first 2 of the night. Chicago by 3. And Vincent will be called for a foul in the backcourt.
Fouls on Sam Vincent.
His first.
Penalty.
That's a penalty, however, against Chicago. The Cavs still have a foul to use in the last 2 minutes. They only have 2 team fouls.
Difference between the game clock and the shot clock. 15 now on the shot clock. Elo from the baseline. Threw up an air ball. Not even close. Chicago will have a chance to score 2 more here before the end of the third. Vincent threw up an air ball. And that's the end of quarter number 3. Chicago hanging on to a 2-point lead. Sanders works against Pippen. Now 5 seconds left now on the shot clock. Elo will take one from 3-point line. It wouldn't go, but Nance has the rebound. Puts it off the glass and in. The first points of the second half for Larry Nance, who had 18 in the first half. And Chicago's lead a 3-point lead. 9.5 minutes remaining. Michael Jordan. Rebound Doherty, tipped away by Jordan. Ball belongs to Cleveland.
Ron Harper for Price.
Big question now with Price going to the bench. Harper coming in is whether or not Price is going to get stiff sitting down and whether he'll be effective when he does come back in.
Cleveland trying to pull to within 1. Just over 9 minutes to go in the game. Sanders puts up the jumper, a little strong. Elo keeps it alive. Back out to Doherty. Harper short with his. Sanders puts it in.
Boy, he's been a real force for them on the offensive boards. He had 3 big ones in the first half. There's another big one off of that terrible shot by Harper.
Chicago's lead a 1-point lead. Vincent working against Harper, got by him. Sanders made him change that shot though, and Doherty got the rebound. It's 14 boards for Brad Doherty. Nearly a walk. Harper off the glass. And Cleveland has the lead back. Harper now with 14. 8.5 minutes remaining. Elo and Michael Jordan
20 seconds.
bump into each other. A 20 will be taken here. 8:20 remaining, and the turnover will be saved by Michael Jordan. And you just wonder when he will take over again. He just beat the buzzer. And Scottie Pippen puts home the follow to give the Bulls the lead back.
Well, sometimes you have to be lucky rather than good. That was a lucky break for the Bulls.
8 minutes to go in the game. Chicago up by 1. If the Bulls win, they meet the New York Knicks in round 2. If Cleveland wins, they play game 5 Sunday at the Richfield Coliseum. Sanders has had an excellent game off the bench. He has 11 points. He also has pulled down 4 rebounds. And he's just given Cleveland back the lead. Grant working against Nance. Corzine puts it up over Daugherty. Wouldn't go for him. Another Sanders rebound. Now Cleveland can open up a 3-point lead. Daugherty moving against Corzine. A whistle before that shot went up. And the foul's going to be called on Dave Corzine, his second.
You can see Brad Daugherty is still in some pain. He was grimacing on that play, and I'm sure it's had an effect on him. A little injury like that, especially down in the area where you have to be mobile and your legs, your hip, or whatever, it just is enough to throw off your timing offensively.
You saw Cartwright check back in for Corzine a moment ago as Brad Daugherty has found his touch again on the line. He's not a bad free throw shooter, 74% during the regular season. But he was really having a time of it in this series until the second half of tonight's game when he seems to have regained his touch. He's now hit 6 in a row from the line, 7 of 8 overall, has 11 points in the game. And Cleveland's up by 3. Just over 7 minutes remaining.
Right now, Chicago's playing a Cleveland tempo. They've got to fit the tempo of this game up a little quicker, get some easy transition baskets to pull this one out.
Well, there's the man that can change the tempo of any game, Michael Jordan. Pulls away the rebound. Chicago on the run. They're trying to get the lead back. Hodges takes it coast to coast. Basket wouldn't go, but he will go to the free throw line. Mike Sanders committing his third personal.
He's getting fouled or dunking the ball.
Less than 5 minutes to go in the game. Nance drew the foul on the way up. It's Cavaliers by 3. Cavaliers by 4. 4s all over the place. And Chicago trying to pull back a little bit closer. They're going to call a timeout here. Discuss how they're going to do it. With 4:39 to go. Cleveland up by 4.
Nick Maletti envisioned his expansion franchise would begin play in 1970. He had hired Bill Fitch from the University of Minnesota to be Cleveland's first coach. But the Cadavers, as they soon became known, played down to form and finished 15-67 their first season.
As good a salesman as Nick is, if I'd have known what I found out the first 15 games, I might not have ever taken a call, let alone gone, because I said at the time, war is hell, but expansion's worse.
I don't want to see that kind of As a player, that was a while ago, okay? I thought it was the end of the world.
People come in and out all the time. You would go to practice on a Monday, and you see 12 guys, and you introduce yourselves, and on Tuesday there's 4 extra guys there. So there's guys in and out all the time.
But in 1975, with young stars like Austin Carr, Bingo Smith, Campy Russell, and Jim Jones in place, Cleveland acquired veteran center Nate Thurmond, and a team that had been soft in the middle suddenly became formidable.
When Nate came, that really changed everything because the big fella could score, he could rebound, plus he was a physical presence that people feared.
Thurman's presence led to the miracle of Richfield in 1976, when the upstart Cavaliers upset the defending Eastern Conference champion Washington Bullets in the conference semifinals.
It's over, Wes!
Richfield Coliseum shook before, during, and after Game 7.
When you're sitting in the locker room, 20,000 plus strong, and the stomp in their feet, the sound is deafening. It was deeper than any college game I'd ever played in at Marquette.
It was probably the best team in basketball in '76.
But it didn't last. The team gradually was broken up. And in 1982, Maletti sold the team to a Cleveland advertising mogul named Ted Stepien, who made history. The wrong kind.
It was 3 dismal years where Ted, whether he will ever realize it or not, and the chances are he won't, and if he does, he'll never admit it, worked very, very hard to destroy the franchise.
Don't worry about the media. Don't worry about the fans. Just play it low and lose as least amount as possible. Wait for your Sampson or Worthy or you know, Elijah one or somebody to come out, right, and make your team. So
Right.
I wish I'd have been a little more patient, but I wasn't.
He was getting advice from a lot of different directions, having taken over the franchise. Ultimately, he sold the franchise to the Gunn brothers, and I think he was happy with moving on with it.
The Cavs went through coaches and players like water. Chuck Daly's first head coaching job there lasted exactly 93 days. Cleveland traded so many #1 draft picks, the league instituted what was known as the Stepien rule to prevent the trading of consecutive #1s in the future. And in the 1981-82 season, the Cavs had 23 different players on their roster.
It was not like starting with an expansion franchise, more like starting even from behind the starting gate in a sense, or from below ground rather than at the ground level. It had been pretty badly torn up.
The Gunn brothers gave young George Karl his first head coaching job. That didn't work either.
It fell apart quickly. My ego, I think, was a little bit out of control at that time.
For a couple of seasons, all the Cavs had was the showmanship of World B3 to attract fans.
They said, well, you know we only won 15 games last year? I said, yes. I said, well, let me tell you something. I win 15 games for you myself.
In June of '86, the Guns brought Wayne Embry in from Milwaukee to be general manager. He in turn hired Lenny Wilkens as head coach. They were the first two African Americans in their respective positions on one team at the same time. Embry drafted Brad Doherty, Mark Price, and Ron Harper, and traded for Larry Nance and Mike Sanders. And Wilkens molded that talent into an Eastern Conference powerhouse. But then...
I was supposed to keep Michael from getting the ball. He made a great move, got the ball.
When I ran by him, made him change his shot a little bit, and he still got it off. And I can still see it as clear as day, the red light going off and the ball leaving his hand and the ball going through the basket.
Injuries and Jordan ultimately doomed what Magic Johnson had dubbed the team of the 90s. Wilkens left for Atlanta in 1993. Rebuilding, with Mike Fratello now aboard, started again.
We realize that right now we can't compete for a championship as the team is per se, but it also is a very important year for us.
Cleveland's basketball journey has come full circle. From the horrific old Cleveland Arena to the suburban Richfield Coliseum to this new Gund Arena back downtown, part of the city's economic revitalization. Jacobs Field is across the street and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame just down the block. Now it's the team's task to add some championship banners to the retired jerseys that hang here. Reporting from Cleveland, I'm David Aldridge, ESPN.
Down to 5 seconds left on the shot clock. I don't know if he got the shot away. He did not. So Cleveland just a little bit too deliberate before they started the ball movement. Then the good Chicago defense took over. And now the Bulls can tie it up. Seattle, Atlanta ahead in their games. Michael starts to put the move on, goes along the baseline, got fouled, he'll go back to the line. So 19-11 the last 7 minutes. Cartwright hands it to Scottie Pippen. His shot won't go. The rebound finally pulled away by Pippen, and he was fouled by Harper. Baseline jumper ties it. 44 for Michael Jordan. Timeout, Cleveland. Sanders to Doherty. Playing against Cartwright, who has 5 personals. Mark Price could not get the jumper. There's Sanders to tip it home. He has had some big baskets tonight off the offensive glass for Cleveland. 14 points for Sanders. Cleveland up by 2. There's your time left. They give it to Michael. He's fouled by Sanders. 4th foul on Sanders. They give it to Michael. 1 minute to go. Tied at 97. 7 seconds on the shot clock. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Basket wouldn't go, but back to the free throw line goes Michael Jordan. Meaning Jordan has now made 19 out of 23 from the line. Chicago leads it by 1. 15 seconds on the shot clock. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Stolen by by Chicago. Pippen got a hand on it. Cartwright pulled it away.
They shouldn't foul, Pete. They should not foul. They got to play good defense. They'll get the ball back. A foul here could be very costly to them.
A 5-second difference in the game clock and the shot clock. Down to 9 on the shot clock. Michael. Hammered by Nance. And throughout this series. 99-97. Chicago leading it by 2. Michael Jordan will be back at the line. He has 47 points in the game. Seattle trying to put away Houston at the Summit. Atlanta has now fallen behind Milwaukee. Milwaukee could win that series if they hang on. Missed it. Doherty got the rebound and hurt himself. He is really favoring that right leg as he heads toward the Cleveland bench. And now the 22nd timeout's going to be taken by Chicago. Will inbounds it. Gets it into Harper to Price. Price over to Doherty. Doherty runs into Craig Hodges, and Hodges will be called for the foul. Here we go. This might be for the season. Michael puts it up. No! Overtime.
Overtime. It's a great play. They got it into his hands.
After Nance's free throws, Jordan was fouled by Craig Elo. Michael knocked down both from the free throw line, bringing his total to 50 points for the night. With 2:45 left in overtime, Larry Nance hit a layup to give Cleveland a 6-point lead over Chicago. Again, the teams hit a cold streak, and the ball traded hands back and forth across the court. With 1 minute 45 seconds left in overtime, Brad Doherty fouled Bill Cartwright. The shot was good, sending him to the line for a potential 3-point play. Cartwright foul shot, but the Bulls regained possession seconds later, where Craig Hodges hit a long 2-pointer off an assist by Horace Grant. Cleveland continued to lead Chicago 107-105. And after almost losing possession, the Bulls took a timeout with only 40 seconds left in the overtime. During this timeout, we rejoin round 1 of the 1989 NBA playoffs in Game 4 on ESPN Classic.
And with 40 seconds left, Chicago has the ball. There you see the 5 players in the game that have 5 personal fouls. In it comes to Jordan. Chicago needs 2 to tie it. We're in the first overtime. Hodges over to Pippen. He almost walked with it. Cartwright back out to Hodges. Hodges trying one from 3-point territory. Wouldn't go. Big rebound by Scottie Pippen. Cartwright has the ball tipped away and stolen by Doherty. And now the Cavaliers, if they can hang on, will send this series back to Cleveland. Michael Jordan had to foul him to give the Bulls a chance to get the ball back.
Well, Doug Collins is going crazy in the sideline trying to get him to steal the ball, but why in the world they didn't go to Michael and they went for an actually looked like almost a set play for a 3-pointer? I don't know. Now here's Cartwright. He tries to go to the basket. He got knocked away from him.
The foul on Michael Jordan, and that's all. His 6th personal foul penalty. John Paxson checks in for Chicago.
Harper made the first one, missed the second one. It's a 108-105 Cleveland lead over Chicago with 7 seconds remaining in the overtime. Point shooting figures.
That's right. Michael fouled out the last time I went to them. Michael was on the bench. That's right, because he had to take another foul. That was his 6th foul, so he's out of the ball game.
Davis inbounds it to Pippen. Pippen is going to send it outside. Davis tries it. Won't go. Hodges tries it. Won't go. This series goes back to Cleveland. In overtime, the Cavaliers have kept their hopes alive. 108-105. Cavaliers beat Chicago.